Hello again, my name is Rodney Reynolds and welcome to another video review. Today I'll be looking at the ABIT SR7-8X motherboard. What is included in this package are two cables. One is a floppy cable, the other one is an ATA133 cable. You also get two extra USB 2 ports. This goes plugged directly into the motherboard. Also an I/O shield plate, a manual, some software and drivers, and the motherboard. This motherboard is based upon the SR7-8X chipset. Let me now just go through some of the key features about this particular board. Right here is where the Pentium 4 CPU gets installed. You can put up to 3 banks of DDR memory on this board. Here are the 2 IDE channels, and the floppy drive gets connected right there. 5 PCI slots, 1 Agp slot, and by the way, this board will take 8 times Agp. Also, we have 2 places to plug the power supply. You need an approved Pentium 4 power supply to connect to this board. One connection is right here, and the other one is right here. You also have 3 fan headers. There's one right here, and one right here. And here is where you plug your PS2 keyboard and the mouse into. Also the 2 serial ports, parallel port. You also have onboard LAN, 2 USB 2 ports, and let's not forget 2 more. This you plug directly into the motherboard, as well as 2-channel audio. Let's now have a look at the BIOS and some of its key features. First, the advanced BIOS features. Within here, you can adjust the boot sequence. Whether you want to have your CD-ROM drive first, your hard drive second, your floppy drive third, whatever combination you want, you can do it within this particular area of the BIOS. You can also adjust the SMART for hard drives in here, either enable or disable that. And you can also enable or disable the system BIOS cacheable. A more interesting part in this BIOS is the advanced chipset features, and in here you can adjust different video settings as well as memory timings. Now, within the memory area, you can adjust the CAS latency to 2, 2.5, or 3, and as well the timings. You can adjust it manually or use these predefined settings of safe, normal, fast, turbo, or ultra. Now, going back to the different video settings, you have the different Agp 2 times, 4 times, or even 8 times. Also, you can enable or disable the fast writes, and as well adjust the aperture size. Within the integrated peripherals part of the BIOS is where you enable or disable the different things that are on the motherboard. For instance, if you want to enable or disable the primary or secondary channel, whether it be master or slave, well, you can do it in here. And also enable or disable onboard audio, onboard LAN, onboard USB, even serial, parallel, and game ports. There is also a PC health status within this particular BIOS, and you can set a CPU warning temperature, so when the CPU reaches that particular defined temperature, it will warn you. Also right here, we have the different voltages, fan speeds, as well as the system temperature and the CPU temperature. And lastly, let's look at the soft menu 3 setup. In here, you can adjust the different front-side bus settings. You can adjust the CPU voltage as well as the memory voltage in here. I'll show you, for instance, if you want to change the front side bus setting, that's very simple. Just go in here, type in a different number, and you can go ahead and try that front side bus. As you know, Pentium 4s have the multiplier locked, so you're not going to be able to change that, but you can change the front side bus setting. Now down further is the CPU front side bus, DRAM, Agp Pci ratio. And what that will do is give you more out of your system performance-wise. For instance, right now I have a system front-side bus here at the top of 150. The ratio is at 4, 5, 2, 1. What that means is that the front-side bus will be 150. As you can see right here, the memory will be 187. The Agp will be 75, as well as the PCI clock will be 37. Now, if you do not want the Agp and the PCI to be at those speeds, you can actually override that and select a fixed Agp Pci frequency right here, and the Agp will be 66. And you can actually also adjust this if you wanted to. And as well, the enhanced chipset mode is at a megahertz of either 83 or 144. As you can see there, there's all kinds of different settings when overclocking your CPU. And at the bottom we have the voltage settings for both the CPU or the memory. First of all, the CPU can go up to a plus 15%, so you can add 15% to whatever the default voltage of your particular CPU is. And also, you have a memory voltage in here. You can go all the way up to 2.8. And the Psi Software Sandra CPU result is 5,541. The CPU Multimedia benchmark result is 11,255. And the memory result is 2,253. The 3D Mark 2001 second edition result is 13,526. The settings that I will be using for the Comanche 4 demo are a screen resolution of 1280 by 1024. The bit depth is 32. Texture compression is checked. I've disabled the VSync and the hardware shaders are checked. And the result is 49.07 frames per second. The settings that I will be using in the Quake 3 Arena demo are a screen resolution of 1280 by 1024. The color depth is 32-bit. The geometric detail is at high, the texture detail is at max, the texture quality is 32-bit, and the texture filter is trilinear. And the result is 198.6 frames per second. In the XS Mark benchmark, I will be using all the default settings except for a screen resolution of 1280 by 1024 at 32-bit. And the result is 6,326. And the Unreal Tournament 2003 benchmark result at a resolution of 1280 by 960. The flyby is 127 and the bot match is 61. Overall, this motherboard has good performance as well as stability, and it's inexpensive. However, if you're an overclocker, you might be disappointed because the highest front side bus that I could get is around 150. But overall, this is a great product. Again, my name is Rodney Reynolds, and this has been another video review. Be sure to check back very soon. I will have a brand new one for you then. Also, be sure to pop into my website at www.3dgameman.com. And while you're there, you can go and register. If you haven't already registered, registration is completely free. Until the next time, take care.